What's up, everyone? Welcome to the video. Thank you for being here. My name is Gage Edwards from Waste360.com, back with another interview with one of our 40 Under 40 award winners. Today's interview is with Mauricio Castelan, General Manager at Balcones Resources. Castelan got his start 15 years ago, and he never looked back, as year over year, he finds himself climbing up through the ranks of the corporate ladder. He started off by helping with box trucks and then in the warehouse, and eventually he took every opportunity he saw to climb up through the company. As someone who has seen every aspect of recycling, Castelan encourages folks to reach out to their nearby facilities to learn what can and can't be recycled. That way we can make things a little smoother for everybody. Be sure to watch the whole interview, and you might even pick up on ideas on how to grow within your own company.
So first and foremost, I would like to know more about you and your position at Balcones Resources.
Okay, so I'm the general manager for this location. That is my current role here. I manage all the day-to-day operations, all financial aspects for this facility here in Austin, Texas. So I make capital decisions, and I plan around our budget, and I help create that budget and make sure that we kind of follow it as a guideline through the year. And then I'm kind of like, I wear a lot of hats here. So I help manage maintenance, I help manage transportation, I kind of have input in every single department, along with billing and shipping and logistics. So anything you can think of day to day, that's what I do here.
Cool. So everyone can kind of come to you for most things. You're like, all right, I got it. Let's do it.
I'm the ultimate decision maker for sure. It's a lot of pressure, but I love being able to think on my feet. So that's kind of something that you have to learn how to do in the recycling industry, because there's a lot going on.
Yes. So it's always new challenges, and how do we get over those? I think that's recycling, the tagline for recycling. New challenges, how do we deal with it? So
exactly.
So I was reading up that you started with the company when you were 18, correct?
Correct. That's correct. Yeah.
So you've been doing this basically your whole adult life now.
Yeah, almost half of my life. Yeah. So it'll be 15 years tomorrow, actually. 15 years tomorrow. It's been quite a journey.
Well, congratulations on that milestone coming up. So starting at 18, how did you get here to general manager? What was it like moving up through the company?
Yeah. So I started here at 18, right out of high school. It was during the recession of 2008. So I worked at a restaurant, and that closed down. So I needed something to do during the summer while I figured out what I was going to do with my life. Ended up working at the recycling company Balcones that my dad was a supervisor in. So my dad was a supervisor at this company before, and he kind of got me in. And I came in working on a box truck, helping transportation, and kind of moved into the warehouse. And Balcones has always been a company that, is looking for people to scale with, right? So they want to see somebody that could take on some additional work, take on some additional tasks, and is able and competent enough to kind of continue moving forward. So they, I guess they saw that I was really hungry. So I wanted to learn, and I wanted to do more stuff. So I went from, just a general laborer to working forklift. And then from there to doing like heavy equipment operating on the wheel loader. And a big opportunity came for me because I was bilingual, and I understand how to operate all the equipment when we acquired the City of Austin contract in 2012. So we acquired this contract for the City of Austin. 60% of all the material for the city generates comes to this facility. It's split between this facility and our competitor down south. I got an opportunity to help train and translate all of to all of our new operators how to, because we scale quite a lot. So I had the opportunity to train everybody and teach them what I already knew, and then I became a supervisor. That's how I became a supervisor. That was my first kind of like management role, and then from there I kind of continued on. I took on second shift. We started a second shift because we were growing quite a bit, and then from there it just kind of. I kept going. It was a long process, but went from second shift to production manager, and they kept seeing that I wanted to do more, and I wanted to continue growing. And as the company continued to grow, because Balcones grew quite fast, then I ended up becoming operations manager, and that's kind of what I excelled at. I'm very mechanically inclined, and I love creating new ideas and new ways to make everything more efficient. So then from there, I became general manager. That's kind of like snippet of how that all happened.
Yeah,
But yeah,
there's a
so
lot more work, I guess, went into it than just that spiel. So I mean, again, 15 years of work, that's pretty impressive.
yeah, for sure, it was quite a journey. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to know what I'm doing. I'm able to apply all my experience that I've learned in this company and in motor train and kind of help other people. And my team right now that I have, a lot of them also came from the MRF and from the warehouse, and they kind of I wanted to give the same opportunity to everybody else, to all my all the employees, and we want to anybody that wants to kind of continue learning and building a career here, we want to give them a path and an avenue to do so.
Now, I guess handling so many different things throughout the company, what would you say was the most challenging for you?
Apart from what I'm doing right now, I think it was maintenance. Maintenance was very challenging for me. I was maintenance manager for what was it? I think it was like 8 months. It was a position that I was offered because we needed to fill the kind of void there. And like I said, I'm very mechanically inclined, so I filled that position while the company found somebody else with a lot more experience in that specific field than I did to kind of take it on. So I managed that, and it was quite a task, because you need to be very versatile, and there's really not a lot of planning that goes into like unplanned maintenance, right? That's why it's called that. So if something goes down, you have to react very quickly. There's a lot of money getting lost if you have downtime, overtime and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of pressure there to turn things around very quickly. So that was probably the most challenging thing. Also had to learn electrical, and I had to learn how to build and rebuild motors. Tear down motors and all that good stuff. It was quite challenging. That was definitely the most challenging, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only think it was even more challenging working in Texas heat, for all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, people underestimate Texas heat. It gets a little spicy out here for sure.
That sounds awful, but more power to you. And then I guess it paid off, because now you're inside a nice air conditioned office, I imagine. So
yeah. So my time is definitely split. I like to be out on the MRF. I still I belong out there, man. This is kind of what I love being in, is the environment I love to be in. But yeah, I definitely do spend a little bit more time in the office, because I do have to make some decisions that impact everybody out there. But yeah, it all pays off for sure. I wouldn't take it back.
That's good. Now let's shift a little bit from your professional side to a little more personal side.
Okay.
When we're talking recycling, what do you, I guess in your personal opinion, it can be anything, what do you think is one of our biggest holdups today as our communities get into recycling more?
Probably accessibility and education out there. I saw that's something that people are saying a lot, but it's very true. Like, I manage this, and I see this every single day. So I'm out here in this warehouse, and I'm looking at what's coming along my lines and what kind of challenges my sorters are facing. Even with high-tech equipment like optical sorters, robotics, and everything else, there's still very real people behind these conveyor belts, sorting stuff, sifting through all this stuff, and trying to separate everything so we could make a commodity, right? Some material and product. And we see motors in there. We see a lot of oil sometimes in there. We see all kinds of crazy things in these lines, and it's because just people don't understand what recycling really is, right? And it isn't the same in every single city. So some people move from New York here, and it's different. So it depends on where you go in the country. You have different access, or different MRFs that take different materials. So it's not always the same. But here in Austin, we do a single stream system. So it's basically almost everything. We don't like plastic bags, because they're tanglers, or any type of tangler, right? Christmas lights, the regular kind of stuff that everybody knows about. And I think it's just the big holdup there is education, is getting the message out to people like, hey, this is what you can recycle in this city, not in the country, right? And it's specific to the location, specific to the MRF that you're around. Getting that education out there is kind of one of the biggest challenges, because then we have to figure out a solution to kind of solve that riddle right here in the MRF. So we have different chutes that go places. We try to find ways to avoid downtime, and try to create schedules for cleaning and all kinds of things to kind of deal with that lack of education and what people are to putting
Yeah,
in
I
their
guess.
bins.
Right. I guess when I ask that question, that's usually one of the biggest answers I get back is education. People are guessing wrong when they don't know what they can recycle, and they just assume like, oh, this is plastic, it must be recyclable. Not always the
Yeah.
case. City is different, especially from everyone. I talk to people all across the country, and everyone's got their different city standards that they have to meet, and
Yeah.
it's different everywhere. So I guess education is the biggest holdup. Now, if someone were to come to you and say they want to be a better recycler from someone who has seen, a MRF and seen that kind of process, what advice, small or big, would you offer to somebody who wants to recycle better?
Well, I would always offer them a tour so they could see what's happening to their facility at the facility, so they can understand the process. But yeah, just look up your municipality or where you live and what they'll take. Will they take glass? Will they not take glass? What kind of plastics do they want to take? Reach out to the recycling facility so look up, hey, where's my material actually going? So every city has to list that, right? Where's your material end up? Talk to those people there. Most recyclers will be more than happy to tell you, yeah, for sure, we accept styrofoam. We have a process for that. We can't accept styrofoam. So it is a lot. It is somewhat on the general population to try to just dig a little bit and see, hey, what can I recycle? It is on the lid too, so they can look there. But there's a lot of other small little things that may not be on there that a recycler might take that they're not aware. So you have to communicate with them. So just reach out would be my biggest my advice there.
I think that's great advice. I think a lot of people maybe don't want to, or they feel embarrassed by having to reach out, or think no one's going to be there to call. It's all machine operated, right? No, people are willing to help you, especially if they're sorting it themselves. They want to make sure they're not sorting Christmas lights, oil, couches.
Sure.
They don't want that stuff to show up. Moving on, I guess, outside of the realm of professional side and into more of why we're here, the 40 Under 40 Award. You were recipient of one of those, and my question to you is, how did you feel receiving an award? Did you ever think you'd be here receiving an award for the work you've done in waste?
Absolutely not. It was a surprise to me. I thought it was a joke. So I received an email, and I didn't pay attention to it because I got a lot of spam. So I received an email that says, hey, you're recipient for this award, and I didn't know about it. I didn't know about it that I was nominated for it. So I knew of the award, but I just didn't know that I was nominated for it. So I thought, oh, some spam. Not until sometime that afternoon when the person that submitted that put me up for the award told me, hey, have you looked through your email? There should be a surprise there for you. His name is Rob Espinosa. He's the CEO of the company. I was like, what? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he's like, Mauricio, take a picture. So then I looked back and I was like, oh my God, this is real. So it was very exciting for me. I mean, I was beyond myself. I can believe I've never, won anything like that in my life before. So I was extremely, humbled and honored to be able to also travel somewhere else to receive something like that. I'm just doing this because I love to do it, and it's what I know now. I mean, I've been doing it for 15 years, right? I got to know it. So I never thought that I would get something for it, like an award for it. So I was very thrilled. It means a lot. I have it in my home. It's sitting there. I look at it. It means a lot to me. It means it's like all the accumulation of all of these 15 years like into this. Like this just, it feels great.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad. No one's ever surprised, or no, everyone is always surprised that they win these things. I always ask that question, and everyone's like, no, I had no idea. I'm waiting for the one person to be like, yeah, I expected it. Of course, I put in 15 years of hard work. Of course, I was going to get an award for it. But yeah, congratulations on that. That's very exciting. I guess we've reached the end of my initial questions here. Do you have anything you'd like to offer to anyone who's watching this now, or who's maybe starting off in the waste industry? Some advice you'd like to share to someone who could be in your shoes one day?
Yeah, for sure. So my advice to anyone that's starting out in the waste industry is one thing: educate yourself, of course, because you want to know what you're doing, right? But I always tell my staff is like, become a professional at what you do, whatever it is that you do, right? If you're a sorter, because I was a sorter before, like just be the best sorter that you can be, and never be afraid to take risks or even to ask questions, right? So my career really started off by me just wanting to learn more, and I was always the person to be like, hey, how do I get to do that? What do I need to do to get to this next step? What do I need to do to drive a forklift or to operate a wheel loader or to manage a shift? You always want to ask. the recycling industry is something that's growing. I mean, it's growing. We're opening up 2 MRFs just this year, one this year, one next year. So there's a lot of room for growth there. And it's industry that I really have a lot of passion for, because I feel that when we, it's full of great people. It's full of great companies that really want to do something different. Especially balcones, we don't own a landfill. We want to make sure that divert as much material away from the burying it in the ground as possible. We want to make sure that goes back into the market and it gets repurposed, right? So yeah, my advice would be, never be afraid to take risks. I'm a first generation immigrant, so I came here from Mexico. I didn't think I would ever be in a position that I am today, and I'm very honored and I'm very happy that I found that with Balcones. This company, like I said, is great. I can't speak enough about it. So yeah, always take risks and always never be afraid to ask questions.
Hey, thanks for watching. You can check out more interviews just like this one on Waste360.com or on our YouTube page. Our 40 Under 40 award winners were featured at our past Waste Expo, but you can join us for our next event in 2024 in Las Vegas. Check out wasteexpo.com for more details. As always, stay tuned to Waste360.com and all of our social channels for all the latest news in the waste industry. Thanks for watching.